Alright. Hi everyone, it's Alola Hada and welcome to the second Monsterball Double-elimination Freestyle Tournament Draft. Our previous one I think was back in maybe the end of July, but we've since expanded. We have 10 competitors again, all of them picking unique mons throughout the course of our selection process. So Clash and Cliff got our first position in this draft because he won the last one, and went all the way down to myself getting the last pick of the draw. Yay. So you'll see each team as it progresses in the tournament, but let's get straight into the battles because it's going to be long enough as it is. Here's our brackets. Our first round competitors on table 1 is Dragons Up versus Holden McGroin on table 1. Table 2, B-Has versus SB Sads. So let's have a look at which table we're going to take a look at for round 1. So,
also, I'm here, guys, as well. I'll be helping commentate.
Yep. MattSuar in the house. Because I need any help, advice, commentating over these things. So, let's get into some battles, shall we? Push the right buttons. Oh, that's right, the audio is still going.
So this is an interesting lead, Umbreon versus the Toxicroak. If Toxicroak has counter, it will be very good against the Umbreon. If not, Poison will be doing decent damage, but of course you want to switch out that Umbreon as soon as possible. And Lugia is like the perfect Toxicroak counter. And so B-Haze will be switching into the Altaria, which is tanky enough, just like Lugia in the Great League. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. I really don't know this matchup that well. I don't see that many Lugias. I see Altarias all the time, not that many Lugias. So we'll see how much. The Sky Attack did a decent chunk to the Altaria, and I think the Altaria will be fighting back with its own Sky Attack, which also does another decent chunk to the Lugia. So I think that Lugia is opting for Dragon Tail, which is doing a good chunk of damage to the Altaria. So now he's in another Sky Attack. I'm expecting D-Haze to shield this, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to lose the Altaria. And there you go. And I think he's going to try to feint out the Lugia with just Dragon Breath. Oof. And that Lugia got another Sky Attack off. That's game-changing. So either B-Haze is either going to shield again, so lose his shield, or let the Altaria feint. So I guess he decided to lose the 2 shields.
Rather lose 2 shields than lose that switch advantage.
Yeah, Espaz is now up 2 shields against a pretty good team. So now I'm pretty sure it's going to be like 2 Sky Attacks back to back. And I'm pretty sure Espaz only needs to shield one of the Sky Attacks, not both. Was the Altaria? No, the Altaria is not able to get the second Sky Attack. So I'm pretty sure B-Haze is going to switch it back into the Toxicroak to take out whatever. So this Zazmazor is going to do a decent damage to Toxicroak. His Toxicroak is not the tankiest Pokemon. So let's see. So this is going to be a Mud Bomb for sure. Espaz does not want to take the chance of it being a Sludge Bomb, so he decides to shield, going right into the Swampert. So this should be... Swampert is also a good counter for the Toxicroak, Mudshot doing super effective damage and also being able to spam out Hydro Cannon. Oof, and into that Ivysaur. That Ivysaur is just going to be able to take down that Swampert like nothing. Just melting it out with just a Razor Leafs. I don't think you should have Hydro Cannon there. He had enough energy to get the Sludge Wave. And I think the Sludge Wave would have been better as it would do neutral damage to the Ivysaur. So let's see. Umbreon is a tanky monster, but I don't think it's going to be able to win this. Yeah, the Ivysaur is going to be able to do chunk damage, like significant damage to that Umbreon. Umbreon even knocking out the Ivysaur with Foul Play. Toxicroak should be able to get off enough counters to knock it out before Umbreon is even able to get off another charge move. See, oh, no, this power-up is going to knock out that Umbreon for sure.
Trying to undercharge there just to see if he can build up to another charge move. It was his only way to try and possibly win this matchup. So there we go. Round 1 going to be his, or game 1. See how the next one plays out.
So let's see how this second one plays out. Yeah, so B Hayes even going with losing 2 shields like almost immediately, and Espaz having the 2 shields, that was pretty good. Oh, and this is another bad matchup for Espad. Pretty sure he's gonna be switching out immediately into the Umbreon. I wasn't expecting the Umbreon switching, but now the Toxstroke gets to switch in. Toxstroke with having shields, it's gonna be able to get rid of this Umbreon easily. I wouldn't shield this first last resort. There's really no point in shielding it. I'd much rather save the shield for later. But I mean, it doesn't matter. At some point, Toxstroke is going to need to shield against the Umbreon anyways. Yeah, this last resort is going to do a good chunk of damage unless B Hayes decides to use the second shield. He does not. So he's just being able to just farm down the Umbreon, just counters. This is a Mud Bomb. It could be a Sludge Bomb, but I feel like you would just Mud Bomb at this point. Yeah. Just Mud Bomb, get the chip damage, and be able to knock it out with another counter. Oh. Opting out to go for another Mud Bomb instead of saving that Mud Bomb for later. I mean, I would have stayed in and I would just kept countering, knowing that the Umbreon was not able. This is before the Snarl buff, so knowing that Umbreon is not going to be able to get another charge attack, I would have just kept farming it down, and then use my Toxic Growth to just spam whatever comes out next. So Espaz decides not to shield, another Mud Bomb, which is fine.
Just loading up on energy.
Yeah, Espaz is just trying to knock it out with just the fast moves, so you can get enough energy to just try to spam whatever comes in, which is the Altaria. I wouldn't have switched into the Altaria, I would have switched into the Ivysaur, because by this time, both of us have the switch clock ready. So it's going to be Altaria versus the Lugia. So we know how this matchup goes down. I think since Altaria has the energy build-up now, I think Altaria should get close to beating out the Lugia. Ooh, and Espaz decides not to shield. At this point, you have both shields, and Lugia is able to take down both Ivysaur and the Altaria. I would have shielded there. The Ivysaur is using Sludge Bomb. He decides to shield. And it would be going for a Sky Attack, which B Hayes should definitely be shielding. He decides not to shield, decides to let the Ivysaur faint, essentially. Ooh, able to get another charge move off. What is it? Sludge Bomb again? Yes, it is another Sludge Bomb. So Lugia just comes in, takes down the Ivysaur, and now it's going to be Altaria with 1 shield versus Lugia with no shields. So it should be an interesting matchup. I think since Altaria has that 1 shield, it should be able to win against this Lugia. Yeah, there's a shield. Altaria is going for a... Oof! Lugia gets off another Sky Attack. That is under-tapping. That is 100% under-tapping for that Sky Attack. Because that Altaria definitely had a Sky Attack ready to go.
Yes. Managed to pull through at the last second.
Yeah, that was a close match, and Espaz wins this one.
Game 3.
So let's see. So let's see how they decide to lead. So far, B Hayes has been calling all the leads correctly. Let's see if he calls it correctly again. He does.
Wow.
Again, this Ivysaur versus Swampert. That's 3 times the lead has been called correctly. So let's see. So it's Umbreon against the Ivysaur.
Switches into Umbreon again. Back in the tops.
I guess B Hayes was keeping the Ivysaur in to farm up energy and then swapping out into Toxicroak, knowing that Toxicroak is going to win the matchup against Umbreon. So of course we've seen this matchup before. We know that Toxicroak is going to be able to get Mud Bombs off. Maybe opting to use Sludge Bomb instead and being able to almost knock out the Umbreon and then being able to counter. No, he just decides to just go straight up Mud Bomb. So this last resort again against the Umbreon. B Hayes should not shield, just like last time. Yeah, there you go. And be able to just knock it out with just counter. Ooh, last second charge move. Either way, foul play and the mud bomb both. I mean, foul play and last resort both don't knock out the Toxic at that range. So I would switch into these. I would switch into the Lugia and start getting energy. But the Swampert switch is also safe. Decides to take the mud bomb again. But I would have switched into the Lugia, knock down the Toxicroak, knowing Toxicroak can't really touch Lugia, and Lugia is a good matchup against the Ivysaur. And if B-Haze decides to bring in the Altaria, if B-Haze has the Altaria in the back, we know that Lugia can win that matchup with 2 shields. There's a little bit of lag here between the 2 opponents. So what was that? Is that Power Whip? I think that was Power Whip immediately KOing the Swampert.
Yeah.
This would be another Sludge Bomb. The Lugia decides to shield against the Sludge Bomb. B-Haze still has the 1 shield, so he's going to be able to block this Sky attack. And that is the Altaria. Yeah, so if Espads decided to swap in the Lugia instead of the Swampert, I think he might have been, might have had a little bit of a better chance against this, instead of just having Lugia basically 1v2ing his opponent. But if there's one thing I learned about Lugia, is that Lugia is just a tank. It just sits there and takes damage for days. So it does not care about 1v2ing a team. If it wants to, it can 1v3 a team. It doesn't care. It's so bulky. And there you go. There is the bulk telling you. There's Lugia telling you how important bulk is to this game. Being able to knock out the Altaria quite easily. This shields another Sludge Bomb. Espat still has a shield left. And, I mean, B-Haze still has a shield left. Espat has, I think, no shields left.
No, he's got no shields left.
Yeah. So B-Haze is going to be able to... Oh!
Wow.
He overcharged. Got 2 Sky attacks back to back, and that should be able to knock out that Ivysaur. Yeah. And Espads wins this game, wins this matchup.
Taking down the round 1. Well done, GG's, gentlemen. Those are some good games.
Yeah. Just because you have a bad lead does not mean you lose the game, as you can see with Espad.
So, in the brackets, we see that both players are still in the game. This is a double elimination, so they don't get knocked out after their first loss. They can come back and still win it all. So we'll see each of them again in the rounds. Let's see how the rest of the bracket plays out. There we go. We've got 4 tables playing on round 2, with B-Haze and Dragons suffering losses in their first round matches. So, who's the feature table for round 2? Oh no. I've got a bad feeling about this. I apologize in advance. So we're going to watch Clash and Cliff versus Alola Hard out. Let's see how these battles go down. I'll tell you right off the bat, alright? I didn't realize until after I picked my team how heavily weighted it was towards flying types. It took someone else to point it out to me.
I mean, it seems like you seem to have a fun team there. I like the Togekiss, I like the Drifblim, I like the Victory Bell. I don't know about Mantine. I'm not a big fan of Bastiodon. It just sits there and tanks. I'm not a big fan of tankiness. I'm a big fan of offense.
Well, this was just after the update. I knew the tournament would start then, and Mantine just got the Bubble Beam buff, so I wanted to try it out. Didn't know at all how it would go, but curiosity got the better of me. This is after the buff.
Oh, so that Snarl was buffed then. That Snarl. Oh, so that's why the Umbreon's been able to get so many charge moves off. I thought this was before the buff.
I think it was the day of the buff.
What? Trying to remember.
But I know I definitely had a Bubble Beam buff going on.
But yeah, I see the buff. The Bubble Beam is destroying that Deoxys defense. Not by the HP, not by damage,
No.
but by neutering that Deoxys defense, making it do 0 damage.
Yes, that was the goal, but I didn't know it would play off this well.
I mean, you seem to be going for a Bubble Beam, which, I mean, I guess makes sense to lower out the defense, but I think at some point you should have gone for Aerials and done a little bit of more damage to the Deoxys.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just have all the HP. You decided to switch into Bastiodon against the Deoxys defense. But now I see why you were doing the attack defense drop. I mean, the attack drop, because that Bastiodon is like eating the counters like nothing. And mind you, counter is 4x, like Bastiodon is 4x weak to counter.
Yes.
So in this game, it translates to about 2.66 damage. I think it might be more than that. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that Bastiodon is able to eat those counters and be able to take down the Deoxys defense. It goes nothing. So I mean, this Bastiodon has a positive matchup against the rest of Clash's team. So it should be able to essentially win the rest of this game for you. Or come close to winning the rest of the game. Yeah, with Bastiodon with one shield, that's able to tank everything. Let's see.
And I know no matter
I wouldn't shield.
Yeah. No matter what it was throwing at me, we'd be able to tank it.
Yeah, it didn't matter what move. Wormadam Trash has no move that can do damage to Bastiodon, so there's really no point in tanking. Let's see. So it's a Skunk Tank. Oh, against the Drifloon.
So I decided to switch out just because I knew I wanted to save my Bastion matchup for the Wormadam. So I did the blind switch, just wanting to take whatever damage was being dealt onto Drifloon and then being able to save Bass for the back. That was the hope anyway. He had energy on him.
Go ahead.
Oh, I stored enough energy on that Bastiodon, so even if he had to come and finish off the Skunk Tank, at the end of it all, it'd be able to do that plus tank whatever Wormadam was still charging up to.
I mean, the Bastiodon should be able to just take care of the Skunk Tank with just Smackdowns. So it wouldn't really matter. I mean, overcharging is always a good thing.
Oh, honestly, I thought with having such little health that it ended up being KO'd, and I wasn't sure about the Drifloon Wormadam matchup.
Well, Confusion Ironhead, Drifloon doesn't have the best defenses. It has a lot of HP, but yeah, it wouldn't. I mean, unless the Drifloon had Shadow Ball, which I think your Drifloon has Ominous Wind.
Yes, it does.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would lose. I think it would lose to the Wormadam, even with the Wormadam being that low HP, because Confusion is just doing a good chunk of damage and being able to get the Iron Head off easily.
Yeah. Right. So managed to come through with the game 1-1. Game 2.
So you see how that Bubble Beam getting out that attack drop just is important in the long run. So while Bubble Beam isn't doing any damage, it's getting those attack drops, which is really helpful. So Bastiodon versus Wormadam, that's a positive matchup against Bastiodon. So of course Clash knows that, switches out immediately into the Deoxys defense. And you decide to switch into the Togekiss for the charm damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just, look how much charm is That's just charm's base damage, no boost, no nothing. That's just charm. That's all raw damage. And this Togekiss is bulky enough to actually survive a Rock Slide, as you can see there. And he decided to use...
Yeah, I wanted to see if he'd try and save it. I know Clash and Cliff was, you know, Ace trainer. I knew he wouldn't save it, but I just wanted to see. Plus, I had a bad feeling if I saved it from the next one, I wouldn't even get the charge move off.
Yeah, I would have just immediately fired off and just done the same thing like Clash, not shield.
Yeah.
And I would have had Togekiss and I would just fired off the charge attack. Try to see if he can waste a shield.
Yeah.
But there is no point. So now here's the Bubble Beam drop strat that I feel like you're going to be doing for all your matches. There you go. You see, no damage. The good thing is that since Bubble Beam is doing like 0 damage, no one's going to be shielding that.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is that even if a move does like basically 0 damage, it's all about that chip. So as you can see, like in the first matchup, the Deoxys defense did not shield a single Bubble Beam, which of course is a smart play because you have to save the shields for later. But that Deoxys defense was just getting chipped at. So even though Bubble Beam wasn't doing a lot of damage, it was doing just chip. And the name of Pokemon, both in PvP, both PvP scenes, like in the competitive scene and here in Pokemon Go, it's all about that chip damage. It doesn't matter, even if your move is doing 1 HP, that's 1 HP less your opponent has, which can make a difference in the long run. So you can see the Skuntank has now been chipped to a significant amount of damage. Not shielding any Bubble Beam, and of course, still having shields. And now Bastion comes in and essentially wins. And is able to, even with no shields, is able to just essentially beat the rest of the team. Because Wormadam does not have the damage output, even with Ironhead doing neutral damage. You see, Ironhead doing neutral damage, basically doing nothing against Bastiodon. A very tanky Pokemon. It's, even in the main game, it's super tanky. It's just, the thing is, in the main game, its typing doesn't help it out. It actually makes it worse. And it actually has no attacking power, which is exactly why Bastion is just so good here in Pokemon Go, because of the 0 attack it essentially has. And as you can see, Bastion is able to just take care of the rest of the team, and Alola wins.
So good. Alright. So you see, in round 4, both competitors still moving forward. Let's have a look at the tables for round 3. We have 2 tables running. So, which table will we be watching? Table 7, Dragonzord and Gary Oak. Or table 8, Ehaz and Horton McGroin. Table 8 it is. Let's get into those matches. Now, Holden's team.
Sorry?
Oh, I was just going to say, half of Holden's team is what he used in the Safari Cup. So he's very experienced with these ones.
I mean, I didn't really touch Safari that much. So, I mean, I'll take your word for it if it is a Safari Cup, which it does look like Safari Cup. So, so we're going to Ehaz again, and we're seeing Holden McGroin.
Yes, this is Holden's point of view.
Yes, and Holden has interesting team. I feel like that's Legacy Dragon Breath. I feel like it's Legacy, Legacy Dragon Breath Dragonite.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
Legacy. Dragon Breath Dragon Claw. Under 1500 CP, I mean.
Wow, that's really lucky.
Super rare.
Getting a Legacy. Double Legacy Dragonite? Oof, that's super lucky.
Yeah.
So this Munchlax is just taking damage, like always, because Munchlax is just a tanky mofo. It just sits there, and it just tanks. It's the pre-evolution to Snorlax, and Snorlax has, like, I think it's the 9th or 10th highest HP Pokemon of all time. So, to put in perspective, if Snorlax is like in the top 10 for highest HP, and Munchlax is a pre-evolution, Munchlax is like already in the top 30 HP. So Munchlax is just sitting there and just tanking because it just has the HP. And here in Pokemon Go, I think I've even the non-perfect Munchlax has like base 200 something HP.
Yeah.
So it just sits there and tanks. Same thing like Hypno. Hypno also sits there and tanks. So it's Munchlax versus Ivysaur in the first matchup, and then now I think they switched to. Was it a switch? No, Munchlax. Oh, was it a double KO?
Ivysaur was able to take out the Munchlax. He came in with Hypno as his second one, and Altaria came in after Ivysaur got taken out.
Ah, okay. So now it's just Hypno versus Altaria, and Hypno is just also tanking, and but the Altaria is just proving it's better because of Dragon Breath. Essentially, is what's happening here.
Oh,
so it's Quagsire versus Bronzong. Ooh, there is no shields on the other side. So this Quagsire should... Holden should have gone for the Earthquake a lot earlier, because it does not want to take a Side Shock. Yeah, because now it's going to be able to... So even though he has energy built up, the Altaria is going to be resisting Mudshot, and it should be able to get a Sky Attack off. Because I think it has enough energy in the reserves to get a Sky Attack off the moment it comes in.
Nope, not enough.
Oh, no?
No, he must have used it on that last charge, the last Sky Attack.
Wow, I thought B-Haze overcharged the Altaria to make sure it gets maybe a Dragon Breath, maybe 1 or 2 Dragon Breaths in and get a Sky Attack.
Yeah, so did I.
Unless this was under-tapping. It could have been some under-tapping there. But Quagsire is able to take out the Altaria.
Hold him, take the Stone Edge. Yeah.
So let's see. If I was Holden, I would bring out the Dragonite just to flex. Here, get Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw. And it's also not that bad against B-Haze. Only 2 Pokemon resisting the Dragon Breath, which is Probopass and Bronzong. And everything else either takes neutral or super-effective damage. And Dragon Breath, as we see on Altaria, is an amazing fast move. So let's see. So it's Hypno versus the Toxicroak.
Oh,
wow. That is
an
amazing lead on Holden against B-Haze. So, of course, Holden is just holding up the switch, just waiting for B-Haze to switch out to see what he switches into. Decides to stay in with Hypno against the Altaria, which makes sense.
Maybe don't forget about the switch.
Yeah, now he decides to switch, I'm pretty sure, into the Quagsire, which...
Oh, no.
Oh, into the Munchlax.
Why not, he says.
Yeah, why not? I mean, Munchlax, like I said, Munchlax is a tanky mofo.
Yeah.
And trust me, this thing is going to be able to take 3, 4 Sky... Well, it's able to take 3 Sky Attacks and just shield 1 of the 3.
Can sit there and take it and then spam off those body slams.
Yeah, and it's able to fire out... Yeah, body slams being one of the best charge moves of all time for PvP. So even with, like, being a terrible fast move, it's able to really charge up those body slams. So let's see. So here's the first non-shielded Sky Attack. And yeah. So Altaria is going to be able to fire off almost 3 Sky Attacks. It should have enough energy for another Sky Attack. Deciding not to Sky Attack. The Altaria definitely has a Sky Attack. And Holden decides to save, of course.
Just committed to
and not spam.
Beatdown.
So let's see. So it's Body Slam against the Toxicroak, which 50-50 on shielding. I don't think I would have shielded. Yeah. So B-Haze decides not to shield and save it. And here's the second Body Slam right before the counter take happens. So he he decides not to shield at all. Well, knowing that Holden is going to 100% switch into the Hypno, decides not to shield, which makes sense, and decides to save the shield for the back. Oh, Holden decides to switch into the Quagsire, and B-Haze switches out immediately into the Blastoise. So Holden decides to just Shadow Ball. I'm guessing I mean, even if he shields, it doesn't really matter. Because Holden should be able to get another Shadow Ball off. Because he does also have a shield. I'm assuming this Blastoise has Hydro Cannon. Let's see. Okay, so he decides not to shield and let the Hypno faint into the Quagsire. Quagsire has to shield against the Hydro Cannon. So now it's a race to the charge move. Who gets the charge move off first? So Quagsire is going to be able to beat out. So he decides to wait until the Earthquake, which should 100% KO the Blastoise. And then I think Toxicroak should just be 1 or 2 Mudshots away from knockout. Yeah, there you go. And Holden gets the second match.
Very clean, very good. So what does that mean? So that would be the second loss that B has now suffered in this tournament, which means he'll be out and Holden progresses. Let's see how the rest of the bracket looks now for round 4. 4 tables running. So who's going to be the feature table? No, just quietly, I did this one on purpose. This goes as a shout out to Casey. She really wanted. Oh, sorry, Matt Scandalous, Martha. She really wanted to see this matchup, and thankfully we got the footage for it. So let's see how this round panned out. It's Holden's perspective again versus Clash and Cliff.
So this is two interesting teams against one another. Ooh. So it's Hypno versus the Skuntank. So Skuntank has Poison Jab, which is doing neutral, and Hypno is actually able to tank. So Holden decides to switch out immediately. Well, not immediately. Decides to do 2 confusions and switch out to Medicham, which is good. Taking the crunch, which is not good. Let's see. So it's, what is that? I can't see. Is that Sableye?
Sableye, yeah, shiny
against
Sableye.
So he's doing double damage. Alright, got it. Doing double damage, shiny damage.
Definitely, shinies do more damage. There you can see he just took out that Medicham like it was nothing.
Exactly, just cleaning it up like it was nothing. Like it was just dessert. Sableye saying, Medicham looking like a snack. Decided to take a bite out of it. There goes the Medicham. So now it's Wigglytuff versus Sableye, and I look away for 1 second, I come back, Sableye is gone. That's just how powerful Charm is.
Just so much damage with just the quick attacks.
Yeah, Charm is doing neutral damage against the Skuntank, so if you don't, the way Charm uses work is if you do not resist Charm eats through you. It does not matter what Pokemon you are. It doesn't matter how much defense you have. If you do not resist Charm will go right through you. As you can see with Skuntank. So now, look how much damage Charm was doing against the... That was, it was a shield into the Play Rough. And look how much Charm was doing to the Deoxys. And Deoxys is one of the highest defenses and one of the best Pokemon in Great League, in Open Great League. And look how much Wigglytuff did to that Deoxys. So Hypno was able to tank out Deoxys by just being able to just tank its damage. And this is going to be just a battle of charge moves again. So they're both going to waste both shields here. Holden should be shielding the Rock Slide. Not wanting to take it. Or Psycho Boost. Either or, he needed to shield that. So he'll be doing too much damage. But the counter will knock it out. Sets Shadow Ball. Shields the Shadow Ball. So here's the undertapping. Holden does not undertap. He does not. He just wasted the Shadow Ball. I feel like that was a little too risky. Even though Deoxys did do Psycho Boost, and I think it had 0 energy at that point, I think it was still too risky.
So
and I would have
risky.
just gone for this Ice Punch straight up. Take out the Deoxys defense before it takes me out.
He's well within that space where he could take it out with just Ice Punch as well. He intentionally went for that Shadow Green.
I mean, Ice Punch takes it out that range, and
Yes.
that was a little too risky. But hey, it worked out for Holden. Let's see. Oh, Munchlax versus the Wormadam.
Damn. Battle of the tanks.
It really is. It really is. So let's see. Wormadam is able to shrug off the body slams, and Munchlax, just because of its sheer bulk, is able to take good damage from the Iron Heads. Which you saw, that Iron Head was not doing much. So Munchlax is deciding to bulldoze. Does it pay off? It does. So bulldoze against the Wormadam Trash is actually neutral damage, because Wormadam is part steel. Wormadam Trash is part steel, so it's doing neutral damage. So it's able to do a good chunk with bulldoze, and is just spamming out body slams at this point, almost taking out the Wormadam Trash. Wormadam is able to fire off an Iron Head, and he sets his shield.
Would rather use the shield advantage than the switch advantage.
Yeah, that is sometimes more important. So now it's Deoxys defense versus the Munchlax. And the Munchlax is just showing how just freaking bulky it is. Being able to take 2 counters,
those licks,
fire off a body slam,
Half-Blood,
and almost get off another body slam too. Just that lick was doing good damage. And now here we go. Charm versus Poison Jab Skuntank. So it looks like Wigglytuff is able to take it out. That should be Crunch, which Wigglytuff can easily handle. Oh, it was Sludge Bomb.
Sneaky with
I
the
thought he was gonna
Sludge
go.
Bomb.
I thought Clashing was gonna go for the bait and do Crunch, but he decided to just all out risk it and just go for the Sludge Bomb, taking out the the Wigglytuff. So now Hypno versus Skuntank. Clashing should just let but he has 2 shields, so he could shield this not carrying and be able to. Oh, he does not get to another Crunch before Hypno gets to another Ice Punch. So that should knock out the. Oh, Clashing decides to just shield again.
Double shield.
Getting off the other Crunch. That's why. So Clashing must have seen that he was most likely 1 or 2 poison jabs off from the Crunch and decided to shield it.
Take down that Hypno. End it. Tired of your games, he's saying. Cliff taking down that.
And this second game goes to Clash. So Munchlax versus Deoxys defense. So these are both tanks, and both of them are actually doing super effective damage with their fast moves.
Yeah.
But this is where it's showing that counter is just a superior fast move. Being able to get it off the Rock Slide or the Psycho Boost off before Munchlax is able to get its Body Slam off. So Holden decides not to shield. Holden is deciding to double piggyback off himself by holding off enough energy to get 2 Body Slams off. Clashing decides to shield 1 Body Slam. And I'm pretty sure Clashing is not going to shield this second one. So deciding to take it. Yeah. So let's see. So Deoxys defense should just be able to take out the.
Got there. That must have been an undercut.
Yeah, but I don't think he should have done that. I think Clashing should have just knocked it out with counter. I think Clashing would be able to survive with 1 more
1 HP more?
HP. I think so. I think Clashing could have survived with 1 more HP against the Munchlax. And then whatever comes out takes the Psycho Boost. So whatever comes out has to either A, shield, or B, take the Psycho Boost. So Let's see. So it's both of them are resistant confusion. So it's Wormadam Trash versus Hypno. Both of them are resistant confusion, and they're both tanks. So let's see. Wormadam does not resist Shadow Ball, and Holden decides to switch out into Quagsire. Quagsire actually takes not very effective damage from Iron Head. Oh, and it's Quagsire versus the Skuntank. So this should be game. So Holden decides to shield bait with Stone Edge. And he does not take the bait, but does take serious damage against the Stone Edge. Holden decides to shield a Crunch. Oh, the Sludge Bomb. I don't think you should have gone for Sludge Bomb. You should have just gone for Crunch. Sludge Bomb doesn't really do more damage because it's resisted, and you're able to get off 2 crunches before you get 1 Sludge Bomb off.
Oh,
here's another Stone Edge. Caution should just let the Skuntank faint, and save the shield for the Wormadam Trash. So I don't know if Wormadam is double moved. If it was, it would have gone for another move instead of for Iron Head. Holden is just going for the Stone Edge. Both Stone Edge and Earthquakes are both decent against the Wormadam, both doing neutral damage. But Stone Edge is the most energy efficient. So I'm pretty sure it's going for the shield bait, knowing that Hypno needs that shield out of the way to be able to take it down. So Hypno decides to shield, and Holden should just be able to finish it off. Maybe 1, 2, and he decides to Ice Punch instead of Shadow Ball, which I think it doesn't really matter at this point, because even if Caution gets to another Iron Head, Holden's Hypno is going to be able to get to another Ice Punch anyways, because Hypno should be able to survive the Iron Head, and the game goes to Holden.
It does.
This is showing just how tanky Hypno is, just being able to just tank and deliver back just because of confusion.
Yes. Alright, so that is Cliff's second loss of the tournament. Holden advances into round 5. Let's see who's coming with him. So, in round 5, 2 tables. Let's see which table we're going to be watching this time. Yeah, we had to give Holden a bit of a break, right? So, James versus Alola hard out. Straight into the battles. Game 1. Drift them into Knockout.
So this is an interesting matchup. So Drift them does some effective damage with the Icy Wind, and Noctowl has the energy efficient Sky Attack. And Noctowl resists, because it's normal type, it resists the Hex. And Drifloon does not resist anything from Noctowl. So this is an interesting matchup. I've never seen this, so I'm kind of curious with how this plays out. So Alola, you decide not to shield, because just Drifloon has that much HP, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're going to shield the second one, yes. To get off the Icy Wind and bait out the shield from James. Seems to be a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, I think I'm slightly ahead on these games than you are. Because I can see the moves just slightly faster. Which makes sense, it's coming from my end.
So why'd you go for Ominous Wind instead of the
I wanted to see if I could bait him. Didn't work,
and you got the boost! And James didn't shield either. I thought he was going to shield that. Because Icy Wind was going to be able to do damage. So James decides to let the Noctowl faint. He's like, I'm not wasting any shield. This thing is boosted. I'm bringing out my counter to this. And that counter is Melmetal. Which, that's just how bad Hex is. Just doing almost nothing to the Melmetal. And into the Blaziken. And that is Quillfish. And Quillfish into the Bastiodon. Ooh, that's not that good of a matchup for you. I mean, Quillfish is able to single-handedly take out both Bastiodon and your Blaziken.
Yes.
So let's see. Yeah, no, that water gun is just doing enough damage to just chip it down. You went out for the Stone Edge, and at this point, James should shield, knowing Quillfish is his win condition. Yeah, there's a shield. Water gun should be able to knock out the Bastion before. Yeah, James knows that the water gun knocks out Bastion.
So much off me with
and he's decided not to shield, right? You just okay. So you shield the first Aqua Tail, and then this. Oh, that was Acid Spray into the second into the Aqua Tail.
I think he was just rubbing it in at that point.
He was. He's like, I'm gonna drop your defense. Instead of going for 2 Aqua Tails, I'm gonna drop your defense and then go the Aqua Tail.
James on trainer just completely obliterating my team in that first round.
It's now round 2, so let's see. So it is the Quillfish versus the Togekiss. Well, Quillfish resists Charm, as you can see. And even with the resistance, that's doing a good chunk of damage. So this is going to most likely be Aqua Tail. Yeah, you decided not to shield. Togekiss is frail, so I would have shielded that, even if it was Acid Spray.
I just thought at
just
that
so the
point with
Togekiss
the
can have more
Quillfish
HP.
matchup that it would be a waste of a shield trying to protect Togekiss.
That's true. But you never know, you could have gotten the boost.
Yeah, you're right.
I would have shielded, gone for the Ancient Power, gotten the boost, and be like, alright, Relicanth 2.0, let's get it. So let's see, so this is Wing Attack. You can see, I'm pretty sure this Quillfish should have enough for an Acid Spray. Yeah, goes for the Acid Spray. You decided not to shield, because both Acid Spray and Aqua Tail is doing nothing. And that's into the Melmetal. Oof. Thunder Shock should be doing good damage. But now, you get 2 Bow Beams off, and you negate the Acid Spray. So there's 1. And into the Bastiodon. So, this matchup is interesting. It all depends on the shield, and depends on how the Melmetal plays. So, Flamethrower is able to knock out Melmetal with just one Flamethrower, and I think 3 Smackdowns knocks out Melmetal. So, depending on how the opponent plays the Melmetal, if they just keep going for raw Thunderbolts and don't care about shield baiting, they can do enough damage to the Bastiodon where it won't knock it down, but it will just do enough damage where Bastiodon gets knocked out with whatever comes out next. So you're just farming up the Melmetal. Melmetal is going for the Thunderbolt again. You decide not to shield, of course. Goes into a Thunderbolt. And here's 1 Flamethrower. Does James decide to shield? Now that's the question. If James doesn't shield, Melmetal goes down. Yep, he decides not to shield and decides to save it. So into the Quillfish, we should be able to, goes down easily to 2 Smackdowns. Quillfish was low enough. And now it's, well, that's just basically mean Bastion versus the Noctowl. James still has 2 shields or 1 shield? I didn't see.
1 shield.
This is 1 shield. Ah, there goes the shield. Bastion just comes in, keeps doing Bastion things. And you would shield this, right? Yeah, you have 2 shields anyways. Shield this, shield the Sky Attack, or the Nightshade. Yeah, the Sky Attack. Goes for a Stone Edge. Stone Edge shouldn't knock out the Noctowl, but should do enough damage where either it faints to the Smackdown or the... Nah, it actually does knock down the Stone Edge. I thought Noctowl was a little bit more tankier than that.
I think it might just come down to IVs at that point.
Yeah, I think so. I think that is one of those IV dependent things. But I mean, either way, even if it didn't fall to the Stone Edge, you were able to get off 2 Smackdowns and knock it out anyways.
Yeah.
So Wing Attack is doing like I think 1 or 2 damage at most against the Bastiodon. So it didn't really matter.
Alright, so there's a bit of a hiccup with Game 3. We won't get to see it because this was on the live stream and my screen just decided to disconnect in the middle of the game. So we won't see game 3, but the result was that James took it down anyway. Cut me in half. Just came in with a better lineup again in game 3, and I just couldn't match it. So in round 6, James advances. Table 15 has already been set up. So he goes against Holden on table 16. And we get to see a match I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy watching, Matt. Kip and Braden. Now, Braden asked if specifically to show this one, and you'll see why in a minute. Game 1.
Oh, let's see. The Shuckle. Don't fuck with Shuckle. Oh, this is a good one. I like this. I really like the meme. I like the team. I don't care. Kiwi Brandon automatically wins because Shuckle. It does not matter what happens here. Shuckle automatically wins. Shuckle's able to take down whatever he has, whatever Mudkip has. Shuckle automatically wins. Rockstar Stone Edge has game.
These are pro picks in play.
So let's see. So it is. I can't really see. Oh, Shuckle lead versus Marsh Top. We already know. I don't even need to say it. Shuckle automatically wins against the Marsh Top. As you can see, look at that. Look how much damage Shuckle's receiving. And look how much damage it is doing. Enough damage that this Surf should be doing 0. Watch. You see, 0 damage. I just told you. I don't know how I can predict these things, but look at that. Gyroball should be doing 120 damage, automatically OHKOing the Mush Top. Ah, look what I just said. It automatically OHKOed the Mush Top. You see, the Mush Top isn't even there anymore. So the Surf shouldn't be able to almost KO this
so much
Shuckle.
damage, you can't even see it. So much.
Okay, so the Surf does KO the Shuckle. Shuckle has actually one of the lowest HP of all Pokemon at base 20, but it has the highest defense, both regular defense and special defense in the whole entire game, with base 230 on both sides. So it is one of the highest defensive monsters in the game, but with one of the lowest HP, which, I mean, if you give it any more HP, it will just sit there and live forever.
What I think happened is that Mudkip just gave so much energy into this tournament that no one else could touch it. They were just trying to balance each other off.
That damn Shuckle. That damn Shuckle. But let's see. So this is actually a matchup that happened in early Boulder Cup, Skarmory versus Marsh Top. So Marsh Top was the discount Swampert before Swampert became the monster it is now with Hydro Cannon. So so Skarmory should be able to KO the Marsh Top unless Mudkip decides to shield. And wow, Kiwi decides to not even Sky Attack. Wow, and Mudkip actually decided to shield. I mean, I guess since you're that close to getting a Surf off, it makes sense. And I just knocked out the Skarmory. Now it's Hitmonchan versus Hitmonchan automatically KOing that.
Hitmonchan this is the world. Just taking all that damage with the charm.
First of all, Hitmonchan is frail. Secondly, Charm does a bunch of damage. And then third, damn it, Charm.
And it's a shiny. Shinies just do more damage.
But I mean, look, if Kiwi would have saved his Shuckle, Shuckle would have been able to take out the Clefable. Gyroball disrespected damage to Clefable. Clefable would have fell to one Gyroball. That's all I had to say. That was a big misplay.
Big risk.
Out. The biggest misplay I've ever seen. I would have saved the Shuckle for later. So now let's see. This is an interesting matchup. Hitmonchan versus the Marsh Top. I'm surprised that Shuckle isn't there. I'm a little disappointed now that Shuckle isn't leading because Shuckle automatically 6-0s the guy's Mudkip's team. That's fine. Sometimes, can't always have nice things.
Sometimes some players just can't handle how good Shuckle is. And they just have to come back down to earth a bit.
So he decides to switch into Clefable. Clefable just demolishes the Himochan. Again, I did the same thing. I turned away for a second, looked back, Himochan was gone, and all I saw was Clefable. So I'm assuming Clefable just wrecked Himochan in seconds. So Scrummy just decides to just Sky Attack. Both players still have both shields on the field. And this is what I'm telling you. If you resist Charm, you win against Charm users. But if you do not resist Charm, you will lose. So with that, it is Steelix versus Skarmory. Steelix is a good Skarmory counter. And so Kiwi decides to switch out from Skarmory into the Lantern, and not wanting to risk the Earthquake, both shields are still in play. It's worth shielding. Let's see, so Marshtomp doesn't have any ground moves apart from Mud Shot. Oh, it actually has Mud Bomb. I actually did not know that. I've never used Marshtomp. I didn't know it had Mud Bomb. I thought it had Sludge Wave. So, Lantern ate the Mud Bomb. And it should be able to KO the Marshtomp with just the water guns. Oh no, Marshtomp got another Mud Bomb off. It's Kiwi decides to shield the Mud Bomb, as he should. Be able to knock it out. Yes, knocks it out. And then it's back to Steelix. See, does he go? Alright, if Mudkip shields, he should be able to win the game. If he does not shield, Kiwi wins. So Mudkip decided to shield. Knocks out the... So now it's Skarmory, Sky Attack. Oh, Skarmory had 2 Sky Attacks.
Yeah, he found that
overcharged it to a second Sky Attack. And that should be game. That should be in Kiwi's favor. Yeah. Knocking out the Steelix. That was the only way Kiwi could have won, actually, if he had to overcharge that Skarmory.
Yes. Ooh, here we go, down to the decider. Oh. Where is the Shuckle, Brayden?
Come on, I was expecting Shuckle all 3 games, and I'm disappointed that I only saw it in the first game. So it's Jirachi versus Steelix.
Ooh.
Steelix should be able to win this matchup because both Crunch and Earthquake both do some damage to Jirachi. And even though Jirachi is able to spam out Doom Desires, Doom Desire is essentially a Body Slam call. So even though Jirachi is able to spam out Doom Desire, it should be doing like 0 damage to Steelix, while Steelix is able to do a significant chunk to Jirachi.
Yeah.
So there's the first Crunch and the first Shield. And this Kiwi decides to switch out. Yes, he switches into the Skarmory. Interesting. So Skarmory should be able to eat both Crunch and Earthquake. As you can see, yeah. Just ate that Earthquake like ate that Crunch like nothing. Because of that, Mudkip should have enough for Earthquake. No, he decides to Crunch again. At that point, you should just Earthquake, because Earthquake actually does a good amount of damage to Skarmory. So even though Skarmory is part flying, it's also part steel. So it'll be basically single resistance. And Earthquake is a high base powered move anyways. So Earthquake would have done a good chunk of damage to the Skarmory. Skarmory fires off 2 Sky Attacks against the Clefable. And Clefable should be able to knock out Skarmory. Yes, it just raw charm damage. Kiwi should switch into the Jirachi. That's what I'm thinking, to resist Charm. No, he decides to switch into the Lantern. I guess to take the Meteor Mash and not worry about yeah, because since the Lantern is water electric, it double resists steel. So I had to switch into it. And then that is the it's Air Slash Tropius. So that means it's able to spam out Leaf Blade. Oh, and it's a double switch from both of them. So this Steelix should be very low on energy. Actually should almost be getting to a crunch soon. Oh, it was actually a CMP tie. Interesting. I thought Steelix was still one Dragon Tail away from it. I didn't think it was going to be a CMP tie at that point. So now both shields are down. This Jirachi should be able to get the Doom's Desire off. Yes. And knock out the Steelix. And then it should be Tropius versus Jirachi.
With no shields.
With no shields, yes. So Tropius has the Leaf Blade, which is not going to take out Jirachi. It's going to leave Jirachi in the red. It's going to have, Jirachi might have like about 10 HP left. But it should be able to fire off a Doom Desire before it faints. Yes, and that should do a good chunk of damage to Tropius. And I think Lantern in the back has enough HP to survive a Leaf Blade.
Straight into it.
Oh, he immediately Thunderbolts. Misses one bubble in the Thunderbolt, which doesn't really make a difference at that point.
Still good enough.
Yeah, so that's game 2 to Kiwi. I'm so disappointed in Kiwi. He should have brought Shoko. Shoko automatically wins against Tropius with Gyro Ball. It beats Clefable with Gyro Ball. It beats Mudkip's whole entire team with Gyro Ball. It automatically wins. So even though Kiwi won both matches, both matches, he failed because he only won the first match, which is the match that he brought Shoko in.
So that takes us to round 7, I believe. Yeah, both players only, well, that's Mudkip's first loss in the tournament. Q Braden moves on to round 8. And I think we're now at that point, yeah, that everybody else has now been eliminated, having lost twice, bar these 3 players. So let's take a look at Holden and Mudkip's round 7 match.
So Holden, I'm expecting Holden to bring out the Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw, Dragonite. I want to see that in action.
Yes, me too. This is
even though
Mudkip's perspective as well.
So even though Dragonite isn't actually that good against Mudkip's team, I just want to see Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw, Dragonite. That is just the what we all got to see in our lives. So let's see. So Holden actually has no charm resistance, which means that Clefable is actually pretty good against Holden's team. So let's see how this goes. So Mudkip decides to lead with the Clefable. That's doing charm, that's doing significant damage, and Holden decides to lead out with Munchlax. So, you know how I was saying Munchlax is super tanky? Look how fast its HP is being depleted by Charm. And we've seen this Munchlax take counter after counter from the Deoxys defense. We've seen this Munchlax takes so much damage from so many other opponents before, and look how fast it's falling to just Charm. So Holden does his bread and butter with Munchlax, which is piggyback off the Body Slam. And then Mudkip decides to shield one of the Body Slams instead of both, or taking both. Decides to Meteor Mash, and Holden decides to shield. I don't know if Mudkip switched or Mudkip fainted there.
He switched.
I think Mudkip's... Okay, Mudkip switched to take the body slam. The Tropius, Holden decides to switch into his own charm user. And I'm pretty sure Mudkip should just be leaf blading at this point. Because leaf blading is not only more energy efficient, it actually just does more damage than aerial ace. So that charm is just chunking away at that Tropius. There's a little bit of lag here. Tropius should still be able to get to another leaf blade before Wigglytuff is able to get to Play Rough or Ice Beam.
Oh no.
Mudkip decides not to immediately oh, there we go.
Just a little bit of lag.
Yeah, so Mudkip is leaf blading. I'm assuming Holden's going to shield. Yes. Take out the Tropius with just Charm. And Mudkip should just switch into the Steelix. It would be my guess.
Oh.
No, he decides to switch into Clefable to take out the Play Rough or Ice Beam. I think I would have just switched into the Steelix. Because Steelix takes not very effective damage from Play Rough and takes neutral from the Ice Beam.
Just knowing that Holden's got no shields on his side of the field as well.
Yeah, so like that, I mean, Mudkip still has a shield left, but I would have saved it because the charm from Clefable is able to get rid of the rest of Holden's team. Because if, let's say Holden had the, instead of the Quagsire, if Holden had Metachamp, that would have been game.
Oh.
And, Mudkip decides not to shield. Mudkip, you had a shield left. You could just shield at any point. It didn't matter. At that point, you just shield, and Steelix is able to take out the rest of Holden's team.
Yeah, no matter what was coming in, just shield it. Boom! Yeah. What a pity.
But yeah, I would have saved the Clefable, just in case the back was Metachamp or something. I knew that Clefable is a win condition, because Clefable just is Charm. And even though Clefable was low on HP against it, even if it was low on HP and Holden decides to switch into Hypno, even though Hypno is a tank, again, we've seen how much damage Charm just puts out. So even though Hypno is a tank, Steelix in the back can take care of Hypno. Steelix in the back can take care of Munchlax, and Steelix in the back can take care of Wigglytuff. So you should just switch into the Clefable and just done Charm to whatever came out. Because Charm would have KO'd he would have switched into Steelix first, because Steelix only had to worry about the Metachamp. So apart from that, Steelix wins against everything else. Or Steelix at least is neutral against everything else. And then you would just have the Wigglytuff in the back, just in case Holden had the Metachamp. And then you would have switched into the Clefable. If Holden had the Metachamp, you would switch into Clefable, and Clefable takes care of Metachamp easily. And then Clefable would have been knocked out by the Metachamp, but right before Metachamp is about to half HP. And then Steelix comes right back out. And since this is post update of the moves, the Power Punch wouldn't be able to KO Steelix. And Steelix is able to just raw damage Dragon Tail and Crunch on the Metachamp. Have low HP, but able to tank a Body Slam for the Munchlax, and able to take out the Wigglytuff with just Dragon Tails.
Alright, Mudkip, I hope you're learning.
Sorry, I know it was really long, but it's just, you know.
It's good. It's good.
Sometimes you gotta learn these things.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean to be mean to you, Mudkip. It's just, you know, sometimes, you know, I actually lost a match earlier because I got tilted, and I could have actually brought back the match, but I got tilted and I actually lost the match that I could have almost won.
It's all good advice. So Holden taking game 1. Game 2. Let's see if Mudkip can overcome what he just did in round 1.
Can you heat me up some milk, please?
Yeah.
I love how the game makes us wait.
So it's Alolan Muck versus the
Munchlax.
Munchlax. So Alolan Muck only has to worry about Bulldoze. Apart from that, it can take like 3 body slams from Munchlax, and I don't really care.
Straight to the Dark Pulse.
Well, okay, yeah, it's straight raw Dark Pulse, which Holden decides not to shield, so it does this chunk of damage.
He is running
So
acid
this
spray
is-
too, so
Ooh, Mudkip got lucky. So, oh, well, not lucky. Mudkip read his opponent and said not to shield the body slam. Let's see the second body slam. Yeah. So body slam would have done enough damage to get rid of the Alolan Muck. So now he decides to acid spray.
you know, acid spray at that point was the right move though.
Holden got off the... Wow. Holden was able to get off another body slam. So let's see. So it's Steelix. So it's Steelix switch in, gets rid of the Munchlax. Let's see. So it's Quagsire versus Steelix. So this is in Quagsire's favor, especially as Holden has 2 shields. I think that's a Stone Edge. I don't think he was able to charge enough to get to an Earthquake. Oh, he did. And that Earthquake just falls that Steelix, so that's... And into the Hypno. And that's what I mean. Even if, like in the previous match, even if in the back was a Hypno, look how much Charm is doing and how much confusions the Clefable is able to take. So they're just damaging each other with fast moves. Holden should be able to have enough for 2 charge moves. There's 1, and here should be the next one. Yeah, there we go. And that's game to Holden. Yeah. Oh, never mind. It decided. Well, I mean, Holden still has 2 shields. There's really no point.
1 HP left on it. Poor Clefable.
Yeah, poor Clefable. Just falls to the mud shots. But the thing at that point, I think Holden was like maybe 2 mud shots away from the Stone Edge.
Holden takes the win. Round 7. Round 8. So we have our finalists. It's Kiwi Braden versus Holden McGreen. So at this point, Kiwi Braden hasn't suffered a loss in the tournament. So if he loses in round 8 to Holden, they get to do a rematch, or he gets a rematch for his double elimination. So let's see how it plays out in round out to see if there is indeed a round 9. This is Kiwi Braden's perspective.
So I already see that the Shuckle is able to also 1v6 Holden's team. Jarball doing super effective damage to Wigglytuff, so Jarball is able to OHKO Wigglytuff. The Dragonite is like level 14, so they're able to just take out Jarball.
I'm kind of disappointed he hasn't double moved that Shuckle.
I'm sorry?
I'm kind of disappointed he hasn't double moved that Shuckle.
I know. Stone Edge would have been able to OHKO the Dragonite.
I know.
Did you know that if Shuckle uses Gyro Ball against Quagsire, Gyro Ball actually turns into a Grass type move and OHKOs Quagsire?
Oh.
It's a little trick. A lot of people don't know that about Shuckle, but Shuckle can do that.
Transformation
So let's see.
I did not know. I'm learning even now.
So it's the Haunter versus Munchlax. Munchlax wins that against Haunter. So Kiwi switches immediately into the Skarmory, Holden switches into Quagsire, and Quagsire just basically gets off like 3 Stone Edges. And Kiwi's able to get off maybe about 2 Sky Attacks. So here's 1. Holden should be shielding it. Here's 2. Holden is not going to shield this one. And then Quagsire gets off a Stone Edge. Quagsire should be able to get off a Stone Edge.
Yes.
And then Kiwi is going to shield it and be able to just take down Quagsire with just the Air Slash. So there's a Stone Edge, and then it should just be Air Slash to victory. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Holden's Quagsire fainted with his Stone Edge, because Mudshot just charges that fast. And so it's he starts to switch into Haunter. I don't agree with that play. I feel like he should just let the Skarmy stay in and just have the Haunter switch in for later. Like, have the Skarmy faint to the Hypno. You see, because now Holden just switches into
Munchlax. He might have done it
Munchlax.
because he knew Munchlax, like, Haunter was already losing to Munchlax in the back.
Yeah, but you already have... Jirachi actually takes some effective from Lick, but... yeah, here's the Body Slam that... Unless Kiwi shields. So now Kiwi's down 0 shields to Holden's 1. Immediately Sky attacking. And he should faint to Lick before he gets another Sky attack off. And Holden is at... Oh, he had 2 Sky attacks. I didn't know he overcharged enough to get 2.
No, I didn't know.
Thought he only charged enough to get 1. Do the immediate switch out, which I don't agree. You should just have the Skarmy faint at that point. Into the Bulldoze. Jirachi should be able to... Oh. That's basically a wasted Doom Desire. Knocking out the... Yeah, and Holden should be able to just win this. Yeah. So I feel like what should have happened was have the Skarmy basically Sky attack and either have Hypno take the damage or waste the last shield, faint out the Skarmory, go into Haunter, and knowing that Hypno's going to immediately switch out from Haunter to the Munchlax, switch into the Jirachi. And Jirachi should be able to get off a Doom Desire and be able to either nearly KO the Munchlax or have the Munchlax low enough where Munchlax has to waste enough energy that Haunter comes in, knocks it out with Shadow Claw, and has enough energy to go against the Hypno and Shadow Ball it. So now we're into round 2. Again, I don't know why Kiwi didn't bring out Shuckle. We know that Shadow Ball does... Look, Shuckle actually would have won the matchup against Quagsire. Shadow Ball would have O-coded the Quagsire. But I guess sometimes, so people don't know their Pokemon.
Shuckle is just too much for some people to handle.
It really is. So now it's Skarmy versus the damn Shuckle. So we know how this matchup works. Quagsire gets off 2 Stone Edges, Skarmy gets off 2 Sky attacks, and Holden has to shield one of them. There's 1, there's 2, and then it faints to the... It should... Does Holden get off 1 more? Because since these are both leads... Oh, he decides to switch out immediately into the Jirachi, which faints out the Quagsire. Let's see, so this Jirachi has... only loses to Munchlax. So there's the Hypno. So Jirachi is 4x resisting Hypno's Confusion, while Hypno is just 1x resisting the Jirachi's Confusion. So there's a Doom Desire, and he's going to be able to get to another Doom Desire. So this should be Shadow Ball? Or is it just Ice Punch? So it's Ice Punch. I think 1 more Confusion would have given you Shadow Ball. Yeah, and then he says to just Doom Desire, staying with Jirachi and Doom Desire. Into the Munchlax. Munchlax shields, which is perfect.
Is putting in so much work.
So it's Hitmonchan versus the body slamming Munchlax. So Hitmonchan has like frail defense, so I'm pretty sure this body slam should do a good chunk. Yeah. There's another body slam which Kiwi has to shield. So it's Hitmonchan versus the Munchlax. So Hitmonchan is going to go for the Power Punch, which shouldn't do much to the Munchlax, but with that +1 Power Punch, he should be able to KO the Munchlax before Munchlax gets another body slam off. Oh no. Munchlax with that 1 HP. So it knocks out the Hitmonchan, and then Kiwi decides to switch into the Skarmory. Skarmory switches out. Oh no, Skarmory stays in. Goes for the Sky Attack, which should be able to KO the Hypno. And if it doesn't KO it, it should be able to get it close enough where 2 air slashes or 1 air slash knocks it out.
You can see what I'm trying to switch there at the end. He was thinking the same as you. If it doesn't KO, I'm coming in with Jirachi.
Yeah, I needed Jirachi switching to take out, to eat whatever charge move, and just be able to resist the confusion. So that's 1-1. So if Kiwi wins the second one, it's over for the draft, right?
Yes, that's right. So it depends on this.
So can Holden get this win and elongate this draft?
Did he do it? Did he? See, this is the downfall. If he had just led Shuckle,
if Shuckle with Infestation was just going to do super effective damage to Hypno, and Gyroball does 120 damage to Hypno. Should have led with Shuckle, man. Should have led with Shuckle. So now it's the Jirachi versus the Quagsire. And does Kiwi decides to use Doom Desire, which Holden is not going to shield. Well, he shouldn't be shielding. Was that a shield?
Yeah, he got the shield.
Oh, he got the shield. Kiwi is not going to shield. Oh, Kiwi decides to shield last second versus the Earthquake. And then now Kiwi should go for Dazzling Gleam. And he goes for Doom Desire again. I think at that point he should have just gone for Dazzling Gleam. No, wow. Got both of Holden's shield. Does Kiwi decide to also shield?
Stone Edge. I don't think he got to Earthquake, yeah.
Yeah, so both shields are down. So now this is just who goes to charge moves first. So this is another Doom Desire.
The race begins.
Yeah, when both shields are down, it's just a race of who goes to charge moves first. So Jirachi, Doom Desire, faints it out. So Jirachi should just be able to feint out 2 licks. And that was an undertap for sure on the meter on the Doom Desire. Because Jirachi is to the range where it dies to 1 lick. Yeah, there you go. So I'm pretty sure Kiwi is going to go into Hitmonchan. Take the body slam.
On the face.
And then Holden should immediately be switching into the Hypno. As Kiwi is going to immediately switch into the Skarmory. Yep. And that is just... This should be Shadow Ball. Because there's no point in going for Ice Punch. Yeah, and that just shows you how tanky Skarmory is. Just able to eat that Shadow Ball like it was nothing.
Oh.
Let's see. So, on the energy efficient... Well. I'm sorry?
Lag wants to play as well, seems.
Oh yeah, the lag never helps. So the energy efficient play would be for Sky Attack, to go for Sky Attack. But raw damage and the meme is to go for Flash Cannon. And he decides not to. He decides to go for the more energy efficient and guaranteed win of Sky Attacking. So this is your first Sky Attack. Hypno gets another Shadow Ball, which I think at this range...
Is it?
No.
Oh,
does it knock it out? No. It almost knocks it out, but yeah. Skarmory does not get another Sky Attack. And Hypno-chan Ooh, very close to being fainted from the Hypno's confusion. So let's see. So this is gonna be power punch into the Munchlax, and Holden gets the game. I think what should have happened was Kiwi should have just power punched the Hypno instead of taking all those confusions, because Hypno was low enough where power punch faints it. Then he would have had a +1 Hitmonchan with a little bit more HP, and since already +1 from the beginning, it would have been able to do more damage to Munchlax. Holden might have had that game no matter what, but I feel like that was the only way Kiwi might have had a chance.
Yep.
Apart from, of course, bringing in Chuckle, which automatically wins.
Just noted from the offset. So Holden has done enough to force a rematch. So we get to see it. And this time we're going to watch it from Holden's perspective. So round 9, this is the final matchup. See who takes this draft out. What is this?
So it is a Hypno versus the Hitmonchan matchup, which means Kiwi is going to immediately be switching out into Skarmory or Jirachi. Depending on the switch out, is going to be the respective switch in for Holden. Holden decides to switch into Metacham? That is interesting. I would have switched into the Munchlax and would have just licked the Jirachi like it was an ice cream cone.
Lick his face off.
But he has to shield the Doom Desire. He decides not to shield. So Doom Desire is going to hit for a good chunk of damage. Almost knocking out the Metacham. So, he's able to get off another Power Punch, which is going to tickle Jirachi. But I'm pretty sure Holden is trying to get the shield, and he did get the shield. So Holden should be switching to Munchlax, maybe? Or it could be into the Hypno. No, he's switching to Munchlax. So Munchlax is going to not shield on Doom Desire, pretty sure. Or he decides to shield on Doom Desire. And faints out. Oh, Jirachi is able to get one more Doom Desire. This is like I was saying, Doom Desire is basically a Body Slam clone. 45 energy for 70 damage. As you can see, Jirachi was able to get one more Doom Desire into the Hypnonchan. And then I'm pretty sure Kiwi's going to switch into Skarmory. And we already know how this matchup goes.
Holden trying to farm.
Yeah, Holden's trying to farm to get 2 Shadow Balls or an Ice Punch and a Shadow Ball. This is Sky Attack. Holden decides to shields. This is Ice Punch. I'm pretty sure Holden is trying to make sure that Kiwi wastes a shield. Kiwi does not go for the bait. Holden is going for Shadow Ball. Kiwi is going to shield this, knowing it was a Shadow Ball. And basically just able to just get another Sky Attack off before Holden is able to get another charge move. And that Sky Attack should be able to feint out the Hypno. No. Well. Oof. Last second Ice Punch. Which shouldn't be doing much to Skarmory. And yeah, there we go. Skarmory takes it out. And Skarmory should have, I think, it should be an Air Slash away from Sky Attack. Or he decides not to have the Skarmory. Decides to have the Hypno-chan take the Body Slam. So Hypno-chan gets a Power Punch. So he's going to force Holden to use another Body Slam. And then he's going to switch out into Skarmory. Yes, he's going to have Holden force a Body Slam. Then Skarmory switches in and is able to take down Munchlax either with one Air Slash or gets off the Sky Attack before Air Slash knocks out the Munchlax. Let's see. 1, 2, 2 air slashes, and the Munchlax is painted. I'm pretty sure Kiwi was either one more air slash away from Sky Attack, or Kiwi had the Sky Attack ready.
Yeah, that's a bit extremely close. Alright. Last round. Oh, what is that? Kiwi Brayden taking out game 1. What is game 2? Munchlax lead. Be ready. Kiwi Brayden and those Hitmonchan leads.
Damn, so Holden's going to immediately switch out into the Hypno. Kiwi's going to switch it out into Jirachi or Skarmory. There we go, and rinse and repeat, guys. Rinse and repeat. There's not really much to say about this. Shadow Ball hoping to get the shield bait. Hoping that he doesn't shield. Kiwi shields, of course. Kiwi goes for Doom Desire. And then Holden decides to shield. It's essentially who decides to shield him properly is what this game is. It's another Doom Desire. So Holden is out of shields now. Holden is officially out of shields. Holden has the Ice Punch, so maybe he's going to get the shield bait on...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he got the shield bait.
Race.
That was really risky, actually, so, I mean, I wouldn't blame him.
Oh, no. Here comes the leg.
Let's see, so it's Skarmory versus the Quagsire. Quagsire is going to be able to get a Stone Edge off. I think Quagsire, since it's been there long enough, it should be able to get 2 Stone Edges off. Yeah, there's another Stone Edge. As the Skarmory is getting a Sky Attack, which is going to hurt. Wait, is this able to? No. So it's able to hurt the Quagsire. Quagsire gets another Stone Edge. But Skarmory should be able to knock out the Quagsire before Quagsire gets a 3rd Stone Edge. Yeah, 1, 2.
Just in that little bit longer before before the Skarmory got switched in. Energy advantage.
Yeah, that energy advantage really did help that Quagsire. I know Munchlax charges fast, but I was low-key hoping that that I was wrong with that, but man, he was able to get off that other Stone Edge, knock it out. Hitmonchan comes in, and it's just gonna Power Punch. Well, counter knocks out the Quagsire. He's Power Punching, forces the switch out for Jirachi. Ooh!
Wow.
That mattered. So he was able to get the Doom Desire off right before Hypno was able to switch out. So Hypno was locked in, getting Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball should knock out the Jirachi, 100%. Hypno should come in, get rid of it with 1 counter. Yep, gets rid of it before the confusion registers.
And he's already done a power up on Hitmonchan as well.
Yeah, that's an immediate power punch to Munchlax. So this should be game, and it should be going to Kiwi. There's a Body Slam, which isn't going to knock out the Hitmonchan, and Hitmonchan should be able to get a power punch before it faints to Lick.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. On that 1 HP, well, Hitmonchan actually has like 2 or 3 HP points, and that's game. And Kiwi wins it all.
Game 2. Finals. We have a champ.
Although I still think Kiwi should have gotten the Shuckle for the last game, but that's just me.
Don't know what he was thinking. Where was the Shuckle?
Shuckle automatically wins against everyone.
I think maybe just having it on his team, that was it. That's all he needed. Clear win. So, final placings. Kiwi Brayden takes it out. That means he will get first position for our next draft, which Matt is going to be in next month, right, Matt?
Yes, I should be able to be Ultra Friends by next month with everyone. And so I should be on that side battling people.
Yes, can't wait to see those, especially on the live stream as well. And everybody else, if they come back into the next draft, we'll get those positions as well. Plus, we're going to have a lot more new faces in Monsterball, so that's going to be exciting. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Matt, thank you very much for shoutcasting this. Some great
Thank you
insights.
for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So, thanks guys. We'll see you on the next one.